Hello, everybody's Tech Stack here. Oh, let's get going. So what are we looking at? We're looking at our boss guy that we were working on yesterday with loud music. And I started working on the dungeon for him. I know it's just one room right now, but hey, it's a start, right? So if I go ahead and play this, we will see him doing his two different animations that I got set up. One step over to the left, and then he starts doing this repeating tail attack. Hello. Royal potatoes. How are you today? So I just wanted to kind of get a scale for him. I think he's a bit small for what I had in mind, right? Being bullied by Unity, oh no. Can we correct that? So the room we're in doesn't even take up the full screen. So if I set it the size approximately the same as what we're working with for everything else, it's 10. It doesn't quite work out right. So he's small in the room that we have him in, and the room is small. So thank you. So like I've had compliments on the Scorpion. I like the animations I did. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the claws. Like, he looks weird. I need to fix that part. So I'm not sure what to do about it, but I'll get him fixed. You can't see him here because his Y values. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. And his tail's a little bit weird. The point, it needs something, but I don't know what. Like the actual stinger on it. But that's being me being critical of my own stuff, so. So we need to make this room significantly bigger, right? I really just kind of did it as a test placeholder. I don't think it makes sense to have pillars in the room with him like this. What else? What else? Yeah, so let's just keep working on this. Let's make the dungeon bigger. It's all going to be very subject to change at this point, right? So I'm still planning out the storyline. I decided on making the Scorpion because I thought he would be kind of cool to animate and stuff like that. And then that made me go off and figure out how he's going to fit in the storyline. I'm trying to get an object to only ignore collisions with one specific collider. But I can't figure out, and everything online says just use this method. But that method is all in post from 10 to 15 years ago and it doesn't work anymore. Okay. Well, so you want it to actually, are you like doing rigid bodies and they can't go through each other kind of thing, or you just don't want to detect, you don't want your code to run when it detects that trigger or collider, I should say. There's a difference in what you need to do. If it's, you want it to be able to move through the collider. Gotcha. So one way of accomplishing that is in your project settings. So edit, project settings, physics 2D. This section down here determines what layers will be able to interact on physics objects from other layers. So let me say this a different way. Here's all your layers, or at least layers I have set up. You could set up a specific layer that the enemies no collide with. So you could say enemy no collide is the name of the layer. Set your collider that you don't want the what is it? You want enemies to be able to go through a specific layer. Yeah. So like enemies allowed collider, and you uncheck the box on that layer, so projectiles for example, so that it can't interact with another layer, right? So you'd say enemies can't interact with enemies not allowed, or whatever, right? Whatever you want to call it. Hopefully that makes sense. So you uncheck one of those, and then collisions between those two layers, so projectiles and projectiles in my case, cannot interact. And I did it this way, projectiles for projectiles, so that if there's one enemy shooting this way and another one shooting this way, and their arrows happen to intersect, they'll just completely ignore each other and pass through each other. But they will hit a player or other objects in the world. So that'll probably do what you're after. You'll just have to put that on a specific layer. That makes sense? Okay, so one thing I wish that this asset pack had was some color like this that I could use for the roof if I don't want to have anything there. Like, I can't fill in this area back here behind this wall so that the camera can see something, right? Because the way it is now, it's all black out there. And it just doesn't look right, right? I want it to be a specific... What's the word? Not even a color, a texture. I want it to be the texture like this. There's some variations to this thing, right? And there's no way for me to do it. I mean, I can make a texture like that, but wish it had one. So anyway, oh, also the other thing. Well, today I learned something. This is amazing. When you're building a world with multiple tile maps, you want this set to focus on tile maps. Oh my god, that worked. Everything online explained the same thing in the most complicated way I couldn't even understand, so I ignored it and went for programming alternative. Thank you. You're very welcome. There is ways to do it with programming, but like what I just described is uncheck a box and it works for anything you put on a layer, right? The way I handle that is basically I'll tag my player, or I'll tag another thing, and then I can check the tag inside the collider to see if it's something I want to interact with. But anyway, this tile map thing is great because it shows me what layer I'm working on, basically, right? It highlights anything else that's on that same layer and grays out everything else, which is amazing. So I hopefully will no longer paint on the wrong layers. Hopefully. Now, it does highlight this because this has both ground and deco, so it showed me that there's something there on that layer. So if I went and erased, say that, it's going to gray it out. Because I didn't erase the deco layer. If I go back to none, it looks the same. I only erased the ground there. So, it's pretty cool. So what this is telling me is, so like this is the rectangle for my camera, I think? Yeah, look at that. That's huge. Let me make sure the camera is still set to 10 in another scene. So let's save this scene. I don't have my other scene window open here. I closed it. So let's... up here, add tab, project, not profiler. What project? That one. I'm gonna pull that tab off into its own floating windows. Come on, Unity. There we go. Awesome. Between my monitors. That is not it. That's the inspector. There we go. I'm gonna set this one to scenes and just lock it so that it stays on scenes. Then I can switch between my scenes real easy. Let's go overworld. No, always loaded. And this camera is size 10. Yeah, that's kind of the same aspect ratio. Okay. And that's with this window too, so if I go like this, it's gonna change the display? No? Thought it would. Anyway, it's going to be dependent on that, so we need to make it a little bigger than the actual screen. Go back to Dungeon 1 for right the moment. Let's go ahead and disable this camera. Ah, it takes the thing off. Okay. I want to see the lines here. So let's actually take and move this camera up. So it's like this. Hey Eagle, how's it going, man? Okay, and then wow, we're gonna have to fill in that whole area with the tile pilot. This stuff. Let's go to there and we'll fill in the rest. I mean, we can always change this ground layer later. I did it already. Ground. Let's build the outer wall here up a bit. On collision. Oops. So I hadn't realized it until I was looking at analytics on YouTube and Twitch combined. I have over 10,000 hours of watch time combined between YouTube and Twitch. That's crazy. Because it's like 1.16 years or something. Here you go. I'll repeat myself in a minute because I know you probably can't hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Oh, gotta turn you up.
High tech.
Oh, you're up all the way. My music change? Why are you always so quiet? So quiet.
Me?
Yeah.
My voice is kind of different at this moment. I've been like, coughing up a lung.
Yeah, you sound like you're not feeling
A
well.
lot deeper.
You're just volume-wise, you're quieter too.
Different mic.
Oh, okay. I could do it. So how you like the weather? We actually got snow this weekend. And it's,
yeah, I'm in the same boat, but the
Yeah.
only thing that sucks is a little town I live in. It's
Well, they
like
don't
all of
plow
the
it.
back roads are more plowed than the main roads are in the town.
you know, I grew up in the country, so I was used to roads not being plowed and stuff, but it seems like even in our subdivision, they don't plow it right away. Not at all. It takes them like an extra day compared to the country roads. Because country roads, they'd run it down there once or twice so you could get through, and that was good, right? But in the city, it seems like they put some effort into it, I guess. And it makes it take longer to get every little road.
No, it's that, and at the same time, country boys just go out.
We know how to handle it. What is this on? Top deco? There we go. Okay, how does that feel for a room if I go to play mode? Way too wide. Why is the camera showing that it'll go that big? It won't. My camera changed size? What? I don't know. We'll do it this size and see if it changes again, I guess. Lifeline. Huh. What's up?
I can sit here and poke fun at you. It's like I've been watching your Twitch streams longer and on YouTube, and I'm not up there on the board of at least general people you know.
Huh? What are you talking about?
On your streaming channel.
On YouTube? On
No,
Twitch.
it says I'm on, but it doesn't say, like, you have a member Twitch Twitch subscriber 1.
Oh, my Twitch subscribers? That's something different on Twitch.
Yeah.
So there's on Twitch subscribers is someone that's got a paid account.
Ah, okay.
So on Twitch, you're probably a follower.
Yeah.
Which is equivalent to a subscriber on YouTube, so it makes it extra confusing.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like the other way around on YouTube, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And typically, you know, if you have a Amazon Prime account, that's what I would assume is the majority of subscribers on Twitch to different people. Because Amazon Prime lets you do a subscription to a single person a month. For no cost other than the Amazon Prime account that people already have. There we go. So that's the size of a room if I wanted to fill the whole camera. Right? Yes, but it's still cutting off the sides somehow. So what the camera is showing is not what the camera is actually going to give us. Interesting. Let's just set this up all the way. So I need to get rid of this camera actually. And this entry point will go, say, from I guess from Overwood Spawn's fine.
Count like every other block and see what you got. That'd probably be the quickest way to figure out.
I'm gonna set up. So I've got a different camera controller that's got different settings. That's why I was gonna go and set it up so that I can come into this with the camera that's actually gonna be playing the game. That'll tell me a lot more.
Yeah.
So that's from Overwood Spawn. So if I just take that and copy that, save this whole scene, go to my desert scene, and there's only entry points here. Cool. Oh, grab Notepad so I can place this in here, and go to, I guess, the overworld, and grab its exit points. Copy, back to desert, paste, and exit point to desert is no longer going to be to desert, it'll be to dungeon. And this one we'll just delete. And scene to load will be dungeon 1. Scene to unload will be desert. Yes. And this will be the entry point name. Let's go ahead and save the desert then. Let's set our start scene as the main menu and play. Start the game. This. So earlier I'd fixed those little flickers of the scene being all messed up, and it's happening again. So I'm wondering if I didn't save or if what I did was only a temporary thing, and now like I tested it quite a bit and it was working, but now it's not. I don't know why. Dang, he's gonna kill me. Oh, I'm an idiot. I created the entry point but didn't move it to where it needed to be. Or exit point, I guess it is. So let's put that at 0.5. Same for this. There we go. Save. There's no Cinemachine controller here. There is in the overworld. Okay, I did say that. Overworld. There's a Cinemachine confiner here. I think we'll leave it like this for now. I might need to add that confining script later and redo some stuff. So what that does is it keeps the camera from going outside of the world. It's like this camera's following the character up, right? But he can move around inside this little area. It's like an invisible box. But if he gets too far vertically, the camera stops following him, and we can't walk out that area then. I need to do something like that with these other scenes as well. So like this, I don't want you to be able to see this black. So the camera should probably come in like right there, and he walks up from there. Get up the steps, please. Por favor. Okay. Are we in the scene? Nope. Couldn't load Dungeon 1. Must have spelled it wrong. Oh, I know. Derp, derp, derp. Build settings. And we need to drag in Dungeon 1. Now it should work. It's gonna bother me if those flickers are back, those little black lines. Because I created new art to fix it. And it's doing it again. Oh dang, that guy came down after us. Okay, loaded Dungeon 1 this time. No console errors. On has one. I don't know why I didn't put it where the thing is, but it didn't. Hang on a sec, guys. Okay, I'm back. Check, check. Yeah. My daughter needed help with Minecraft. So there's our player. He is just in the wrong spot, so let's just move him down. Not sure how he got up there, but he did. Okay, so back to the game window, maximize on play. And that's what we get to see. The room is way wide. Way wide. Height isn't too bad. But this stuff where, like this, I don't want it to do this, to show all this. I'd rather it stayed center in the center of the room or something. I have to figure out how to do that. I mean, I've already got Cinemachine confiners set up on other areas. This guy needs to be way bigger. Okay, one step at a time, I guess. Let's first fix the entry point because it was all screwed up there. Entry points. Overworld spawn, that's why he went up there. Boop. We'll just set it like right there so that you can go back out. Let's save. Exit points to desert, awesome. That scene to unload will be desert or dungeon 1. And we're going to Rumtown. Sure, it's the wrong spot, but that's all we got for right now because we don't have another one. We'll delete this one. Desert Dungeon 1. Where are you at? Set it at 0.5. 0.5. Save. Play. Start. Okay. Next thing I'm gonna do is see why those black lines are coming back. Because if what I did before doesn't fix it, I'm at a loss. I'm hoping I just didn't save it when I fixed it this morning. Oh, jeez. Cheaty mode. Stop it! Stop it! That's better. Lines in here too. Okay. Partway there. Let's grab the Overworld's Cinemachine Confiner. Put it in the Dungeon 1. And edit it. So that it's in the right area, at least. Bring it down there. That works. And what we're going to do is edit the points on it as well. $25. Say negative 25. Pretty close. Negative 20. We need to do the vertical axis. Say 19. Just trying to get it roughed in so I can zoom in on it and see the whole thing and then get it exact. There we go. There's that one. 21.25. 4, 3, and 24.3. And then this needs to be 1.3. Gosh, we're 1.25. There we go. Means this one needs to be that, and then we need to do the top side. And this corner. Which 0.4, 0.9, 8, 5, 7, 6. There we go. Let me just grab the top edge. .7. I'd say 0.6 actually. Just to make sure it stays within the area. Alright. Okay, and set me as Cinemachine confined. There we go. Starts. Okay, I didn't like that. Not at all. I wonder if it's because it's impossible for it to get inside there. From a vertical standpoint. So let's check our camera first off. Does it have the confiner defined? It does, and it is this. Huh. The confined area must be too small. Or something. It is. Shoot. Vertically it can't fit. So let's put it up to 20 at the top. And then come out of this. It still doesn't show. Why? Let's do split screen. Oops. Come over here. There we go. Oh, we're paused. How to maximize. And that camera's not trying to follow us. Even though clearly the camera is small enough now, so we've shrunk it down quite a bit. Set me as Cinemachine confiner. Machine. Yeah, it's working. Wonder if there's any like interactive doodad we could turn on that tells us what's wrong with Cinemachine. CM Pack 1. That's what it is. Confiner's stopping it. Because it can't fit. What happens if I do this then? If I leave it like this mode? It doesn't even try to stay in it. That's the whole point of that confinement. Okay, so let's try hack number 12. Let's go to the always loaded scene. Actually, let's go back to the dungeon and remove that confiner script. It's just going to cause problems right now. So my problem is, I just personally don't want it to be a black background. I want it to be something specific in this area, right? I want to. I'm just being picky. That's all it is. I'm being picky. I don't. Another thing is, like, if I set up 2 rooms side by side, I don't want you to be able to see when you're near this wall into the other room over here. It would spoil what's over there. I like the fact that you should only be able to see 1 room at a time. So I was trying to set up my Cinemachine camera controller in a way that it would limit it to this space, but the space is too small for the camera to fit in. I set a game object, but apparently I have, the way I had to do it makes it a method, which I can't use. Oh. Okay, before I jump into this whole loop of lots of changes, let me click on your image. Okay. So you're looking for a door. You're looping through game objects. Closed door. Okay, it's not valid, right? You don't have a variable defined for closed door? Oh wait, you do. Oh, so you're returning a closed door object, right? Or a game object? You need to put the double parentheses just like you have here before the dot. If that's your problem. So closed door, left parenthesis, right parenthesis, dot, get component. Then it will call this method, figure out your closed door, return the game object for that, and call get component on it. Just make sure that this closest always returns the game object, otherwise this call is going to return null to your player thing, and so on, and you'll have fun. Nulls, basically. Can it convert method group get component on non-delegate transform? Did you intend to? Which line's that getting it from? Is it this one here that's in red? Because you just need those parentheses. Let me go to script. I can type. Okay, cool. You now have the power, the magic. Hey, Pineapple. That's Air doing what you said gave me. Oh! What was the code again? I have to look at the code, see what else it could be wrong with it. You also don't have your parentheses after get component. And you're looking up a transform on it, so is player a type transform? You're fine. I don't know what your variable player is defined as. Cannot convert method group get component to non-delegate type transform. Did you? Yeah, that was not intentional. I knew they were going to stream tonight, but they started earlier than I expected. They'll probably go, well, based on the last few times they've streamed, they'll probably go later than me. So I'll end up rating them at the end of the night when I'm done. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. The get component thing. Do I need to get stream avatars too, so that there's some competition here? Make my own stream avatars out of my art here. If I can even do that. I thought about it. I thought about it long ago too, before I ever met them. But watching their stream, it's kind of fun to mess around with that. It'd probably take me a while to get it set up though. Well, what I've got going on game-wise is I've added my first dungeon area and ran into some fun, let's say. I've also got a scorpion in here. Let me go... I'll run into it. I started working on a boss the other day and I want to show it off. Because I can. I do not have DNA arrows. If I shoot them, they disappear when they hit something now. So they don't bounce off stuff and just last forever. I thought this morning I'd fixed my little lines between all the tiles, but it's back again, and I don't know if that's because I didn't save or if the problem is just worse than I thought. You can see I've got some hit animations now. It kicks you back and causes you to flash red. Set up this guy with a little bit of a walk animation and stuff. He does it once when he comes in this room. And then he goes into doing this little attack thing with his tail. He is going to be a boss at some point, but he is going to be significantly scaled up. So if I were to grab him and set his scale like at least that much bigger, maybe that much bigger, that's going to be the kind of size that I'm talking about with this guy. Bye, Eagle. Right, he's gonna be like a dungeon boss, right? So when you're done playing when you get to the end of the dungeon, you have to fight him, kind of thing. And this is just one of his animations. I've got 2 so far, but I'm gonna have to make it through 3 or 4. No, I get it. You're talking about the not, is it mobster or is it gangster? I don't remember. Level 1 boss versus level 1 street thug versus mafia or whatever. Yeah. I've seen them all over Reddit. So that problem is back. So what I've found was a good way to look for this. Eagle, if you're leaving because you can't talk, you're muted. Overworld. No, it's not Overworld. It is Town Exterior. And I went like this, and I went in and I just selected one of these on the right layer, so ground. And this took me to here. And I've got it set to my solo one for real. And it's still doing it. Dang. I went and cut out the grass, put it on its own tile, own sprite, and it's still doing it. This thing drives me bonkers. Nothing stops it. Disabled anti-aliasing. This morning I tested it 10 different times, and it wouldn't happen for the regular grass. So then I'm like, oh, it's happening on the edge of the flowers. So I would make one for the flowers. And then it would be like on the edge of, I don't know, like this. So I did one for that. And every time I was doing that, it was fixing it. But now it's back. I had it to the point where I wasn't noticing it occurring at all. I don't know what's different now. So how'd you fix your black line problem? You added extra pixel to the edge of the tile. I mean, I can certainly do that. Got it open in your Photoshop here. Especially on this grass, because it's like stupid simple. It's just solid color. Grab, layer, image, canvas size, 130 by 130. I said 130. There we go. And G it up. There we go. So now we've got the whole thing like that, and then we can go added a single pixel around the edge, and then made the sprite cut out 1 pixel less, so any bleed over would just be the color. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Super, 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 super annoying though that my artwork that is made for a specific size doesn't work. Ah! Wait, did it save? Save. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was just gonna do. I'm pulled in 1 pixel on each side.
Can you hear me?
I do now. It was a big snap when it happened.
Because I cannot hear you in Discord.
Can you hear me in Discord? My mic's lighting up.
And Twitch just crashed for some odd reason.
It's not a border that I want. It's a something else. It's the size of the thing. Yeah, so I have another Discord server that is a private Discord server that I originally set up long ago, and then I set up my one for streaming more recently, and I haven't switched my OBS overlay and stuff up to use the new Discord server, so I don't ever... I will. Like, I plan on doing streams from that Discord instead, right? Just to be more interactive, I guess. Why does it not let me... Is it because I have to go in and tell us this is a multi-sprite? I bet that's it. Because it's not letting me edit it away. The size of it. Yep. 28 now. Come on. 128 by 128. No borders. And we just move the whole thing then. Like that. Apply. Now if this still does this, I might throw my computer. Which will be quite the accomplishment with all my screens and everything it's hooked into. Okay. No black lines please on any of the green one. I know there's going to be some like on these. It's a different tile. Right, but I solved it this morning, and then it came back to haunt me this afternoon. I don't get it. And, like, I am fully aware it's going to happen, like, on the edge of these paths, because that green is part of this path, too. Oh, agree, it's completely idiotic. It's this, right? Hey, it fixed it, right? But the thing is, so the reason I did a solo image by itself... Right, agree. Having some solution is better than it's just live with it, right? Because it's an awful problem. But the reason I tried what I did was this scene doesn't ever have it. And this sand is a solo image by itself with no other sprites in it at all. None. Alrighty, back on the PC. Oh, cool. But the problem is, like, I'm gonna have to do this for every tile that it can ever happen to, and I've seen it happening here. Right there. It just did it. Hey, thanks for joining. Can't kill him. It's the dealio with the game. Like, what's the story and stuff? Story is not 100% set in stone. If I get enough interest in it, yes, right? So there's my understanding is there's a cost to putting something on Steam. So if I don't think I'm at least going to get back my cost, then there's no reason. But I've had people interested in me building it, right? So I assume there's some interest in the game. Cost us $100 for putting it on Steam. It's only 100. I thought it was double that, but still. It's easier for me to change all my sprites since I have so few and choose to use only 8x8 rather than normal 32x32 for them. Yeah, exactly. And, like, I can do it. It's just so annoying. And it shouldn't be a problem with every single sprite. I'm assuming you're still having mic problems, Eagle. It's clicking like crazy right now. It's very time consuming. So, like, this stuff here won't be an issue. Like, this sprite here has something that matches up with it. It's only going to be an issue where it's two things that don't line up. Like this and this. They don't visually blend, so it's going to pick up the purple and you'll see it. No, I did not make all of these. I'm going to have to edit a lot of these for what we're talking about. So I guess the majority of things will be okay if it's like continuing on. This one might be a problem because I might pick up some of this gray here every once in a while. So I'll have to split it off here. Maybe I can split this whole image, right, as one big thing and then get all the tiles out of it. That might work. It's just where things are completely different that's the issue. I thought about, like, is there a way I can tell Photoshop through, like, a script or something to split this, to select a 128 by 128 area, copy that, paste it into a new image, save it as a name based on this name, and then just automate building all of them and saving them all independently, and then I could reset all my tile maps and be done. But I'm also going to have to go into them now and resize all of them to make them 1 pixel bigger on each side, and then fill in that gap around the outside with the appropriate pixel. So I can't automate that part of it, which is annoying. And I think if I leave it just a transparent pixel, it's going to leave the black line instead of the image of the one next to it, right? I have a solution. That's the important part. We'll leave it with that for now. The dungeon. Back to the dungeon, right? That's where we were. Okay, so the camera issue. How are we going to handle that? Now, I could leave it black around it, like we had. So if I were to add a new camera in here, just for demonstration purposes, I've got my camera set up so it's got a black background, right? So whatever the camera sees is going to be like that. I don't know why the camera is not actually previewing, but it should. Resets transform and zoom out at Z. There we go. Set size to 10. So like that, we would see this black background. That could work. It's not what I really wanted, but it's better than nothing. But what that means is I need to ensure that every time I make another room, that I've got it like more than this much gap between the rooms, right? Otherwise, the player will be able to see what's over there, and we don't want that. So say we go like, well, I don't know if those are big Unity units. Yeah, they're like 10 units or something. It just means like this map for this thing, for each room to be separated, is going to have to be like this kind of size, right? To keep them separated enough. And I'll probably want even more padding between them as I'm thinking through this, in case there's the case where I say I make a room here and then I want to change it slightly later and want to add it closer this way, and it ends up running into where you can see it over here. So let's get rid of our Scorpion out of here. He's not supposed to be in this area. That's done. Then we need to take this area and start modifying it to add some things into it. Let's move the collision layer for these. Okay, we're gonna select them first, don't we? And then move them this way. Okay. And then do the same for, say, this side. Okay, and then let's get a big eraser. There we go. Go to the ground layer. There we go. And let's go to the dungeon tile map. Back to our regular brush. Grab this one on the collision layer. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna go to the desert real quick, and I'm gonna take a snap of the desert. Entry points. Go. I want to take a screenshot of this so I can get the layout of the windows and stuff. Oh, there aren't any on that layer. Okay. So this upper floor, when we build that, we'll want the snapshot. We'll want windows opposite of the door, just so it looks right, right? Okay, so desert. Back to dungeon. Yeah, I thought for sure there was... Oh well. A star. Boom. Oh, having the A star like that's going to be a problem too. If I do this all one level. I could make it multiple Unity scenes. That's another way we can do it. That way we can have multiple A star locations. Or grids. Maybe we'll break it up into something that's sensible. Okay, so we need a thing there and a thing there. And this room doesn't have to be exactly the same, but this wall did. Because this is like to the outside world. Let's add a top deco. And this top deco is going to be this. So it's got some light coming in from that door. Almost want to experiment with this too, right? So let's see what happens if we do that. That's deco though. Let's do collision instead. Just to give the appearance of there is a void here, right? It's probably a bit hard to see on the stream. But if I zoom in on it, you can probably see it better. It does have like, this is a deep pit kind of look to it, right? Just to give this some more depth, variety to the room, whatever you want to call it. Because this first room to the dungeon is going to be fairly docile in nature. I don't know for sure if I'm going to allow players to fall into these type of things. If I do, we'll need to change this from collision to something else. That wasn't the right thing. This is. There we go, and then we'll do these ones. And these. Okay. So you won't be able to walk there. Basically anything that's lit up, you won't be able to walk. Okay. I would like basically to introduce the concept of these buttons to the player in this room. So we've got interactables prefab set up. So this green button. Let's put that exactly on the 0.5. Okay. And I don't know why, but there we go. The button wasn't where I thought it was. So back to this mode, please. And you're kind of in the center of a room right now, or center of a block, or the side of a block. There we go. Hey Vlupon, thank you for the follow on Twitter if you're watching. That you, Pineapple? No, your name in Discord was different. Yeah, something different. Okay. So I'm thinking is, they'll, there you go, come into this area, walk over the button. The button will then activate a door that we'll put up here that'll lead on to the next area, right? And oh wait, even better, amazing. Yes, let's do that. There'll be a down staircase that was not going to be on the collision. It's going to be on Deco. That'll be right here. Yes. And we're going to do this on collision. Crap, it's going to override it, but that's okay. Hello. Is that gonna be right? What if we did this then? It's not gonna look right, is it? Can I make this work or not? Might be able to. I might be able to get it to go. Oops. So just give it some variety here and there. And we'll do that step thing I was talking about. So we're going to need to erase. I guess it is 3 wide. That. And that goes on, not deco, but top deco. Will be this. And on just the regular decorations, we'll get this. No. We'll put those back on collision. So you can't walk there, you can't walk there, but you can walk right down the middle. Down to this lower level. The lower level then could have a different flooring type, which will help sell it that it's a different area. That makes sense. There we go. Now, what about... Okay. Let's save this, because I'm liking where I'm going with this. But before I do anything else, let me load another scene that's from this asset pack, just as an example, so I can see how it's done the way this guy's done it, basically. Give me 1 second here. So, example scene. Now in his case, he's got this all one level, and then he's built that up, and you've gone up to there. But that's to go up. I want to go down. He's got those. Again, he's going up and then up again. So he's got a double layered wall there. We're back. I don't know how long you're going to stream it for. Maybe another 20 minutes or so. It just depends how long it takes me to do some stuff. Ah, so he's using this tile for it. Oh, frick. It doesn't even match. But he's used it. And it didn't even catch my eye that it didn't match. I was taking that as a floor color. It's got torches on those. That's a pretty cool touch. And so is this diamond thing through those floor plates. This guy's good at this stuff. Setting them up so that they visually look nice. You know, the bricks and stuff coming out of the hole in the wall. That's some kind of puzzle there. So that's designed to be a pushable. I gotta set those up as pushables. They're not right now. I've got, I think this one is a pushable. That's another one. So he's just gone for it like this, right? So let's try it. See how it looks. Back in our scene. So let's grab this. We'll put this on collision again so you can't walk there. I think it's gonna work just fine. Let's see, how big is that door? It's 3 wide total. Let's put these pillars like there, there, and we'll just extend them on up. Now we'll do this. Just enough room to do this in here. Okay, and then we'll grab the doorway. And the doorway arch needs to be on the collision layer. Can't do 2 separate ones, okay. Like this, and then this piece needs to be on the decoration layer. Okay, not really there. Now, no, it needs to be this doorway. Because it's interior door, not an exterior door. Why can't I see that? I'm just going to show the flooring instead. Because there's something on one of these, isn't there? There's not. Collision layer had it. Okay, so we can do like this. Those are not colliders, please. Let the player walk there. Gotta remember to keep this mode on. So now I can go top decoration. Paint you there. Nope. We want this to be on a different decoration layer because the door itself, I guess it doesn't matter. The door is going to be a separate game object altogether. So then we need to take our doors and we need one like this. We're just going to drag it in right there. So this door is what? Needs to be centered. And we'll say 23. 3, I said. There we go. And now what we can do is, now that we've got this door set up, on our button, we're going to lock the inspector. We're going to say dungeon door here. Oh, add the events. So when that button gets pressed, we're going to, on the door, I'll drag it down here as well. We're going to fire the doors open. And when the door, or when the button is unpressed, we're going to fire the doors close. Let's play. Oh wait, one more thing. Can't actually go through it right now, right? Well, we can anyway. Pushable. I really managed to put that on the 0.5 mark exactly? Wow. Yeah, this would be a good example of what we need. So interaction items elements. So we're gonna put the pushable in there. Wait, let's make sure it's 0 first. Reset transform. Pushable blocks. Pushable block. Dungeon door. And button. What did I do? Oh, this is locked. There's your problem. There's the button, there's the door. Okay. So now that's no longer locked. We can put them in there. I have to reset its transformation though. So when I reset, it reset the wrong thing. It wasn't this one. And why am I building interactable elements? Just so I can do this and make a more neater scene. More neater. So on our tile palette then, let's give it some extra spice. Extra spicy. So on decoration layer, let's do this. Really? You gotta be kidding me. Is that the... That's cool. It cuts off the corner to show you exactly what's on the layer. Just to give this uniform feel to it, I guess. That like this is a different area than that. Upsell it. Put that there. This one over here. Maybe I'll undo that later, I don't know. Okay, and then I wanted to put some posts in here to throw the player off. Alright, so those collision posts. So you can't walk through this, so you can't push it, this pushable block straight into it. Yeah, let's play it now. The scene definitely needs some more to it. It's getting there. Don't know if I'm sold on these being damaged like this. It helps. Kind of wanted this one to be a little bit better looking inside, like not damaged. This on deco. There you go. Save. Let's test it. Start. Yeah, we've got the lines back. Haha. It didn't fix crap. I don't know what to do about that now. Every time I think it's fixed, it's not. No, move! Move! I got some bug where he doesn't come out of his mode where he's stuck from shooting. And that's interesting. Don't have the confined camera. I've got two cameras though. There you go. Ah, I didn't set the state on the button right. Bummer. So this button should not be persist. We want to pop back up. So you can't just walk over it and go through the door, right? You have to get the pushable item onto it. Solve it. These things. This thing right here. And no, this will not be this easy. That block will be filled in. That whole maze is going to be different, probably. Awesome. Left the camera in there. Okay, so I walk over it, the door comes back. Need to fix the animation on the door. But now how do we get it, right? Because we can't come from this way and push on that pushable thing, right? I guess we kind of could. The idea was you push it down like this, and then you could go push it over it, right? Now, my Y order's messed up. Z order. Okay, but that's the idea, right? So you push it onto the... and then you could walk out. So when we had a trigger set up to go somewhere else. So... Those are colliders, so I can't walk off, but they're also stopping my arrows. Unless they spawn inside of it, that's awesome! That's another bug. And that's all one continuous collider, so it doesn't kill the arrow till it's on the other side of the wall. Huh. I think the lower levels is understandable, it's sellable. Might need to make that lower level a little bigger, let's say. Like 2 or 3 blocks wide, so move it all up a bit. The puzzle thing is not too hard, and it should sell the this is how we work with these things kind of idea. Need to make the pushables fixed. Yeah, okay, so let's go into the pushable. And right here, we're going to say add this. And then we're going to do just this for a second so that it realizes that this prefab changed, because I found that it doesn't recognize it as changed with my little script. There we go. So how to fix that issue? We need to get rid of the camera. How to fix the camera issue? Let's try it like this. Start.
Okay. I gotta get some sleep, so I'll catch you later today.
Okay. I do.
Good night, everybody.
Door's animator needs changed. Door. Dungeon door. Open this. Your animator controller. Right here. Got triggered to open them, but that's it. So it'll open and then come back to new state and shouldn't go again until the trigger happens again. But if the trigger's happening continually, that's probably the problem. Royal Potatoes, if you're still here, the black lines between the pixels, between the tiles is still here. I don't know what's up with that. It's almost like it's playing 2 or 3 times still somehow. Okay. Yep. We'll fix that some other time, I guess. I do need to get off here. Let's see if Below the Stone is still streaming. The Stone Dev. Yes, they are. Let's go raid them, guys. I will catch you guys tomorrow. As a notice, I guess. Thursday it is? Yeah, today's Tuesday. So Thursday... My green screen's all messed up. My camera moved or something. Nobody told me. Thursday, I will probably not stream. I've got something going on that night that'll probably take until around the time I'm streaming, and then I'll have the normal night stuff. So probably no stream that night, but I will catch you guys tomorrow and on the weekend, Friday, Saturdays. So Sunday. Bye, everybody. Let's go raid Below the Stone.